Hello and welcome back to the channel. This time we're working on the Mercedes and we're going to be fitting a dash cam and a little power bank type setup so that you can have your phone on charge but all the wires are nice and hidden away. So we're going to have a look and see how we can wire it into the car's fuse box, get it all tucked away and make it look nice. So let's go and take a look and see what we need to do. First thing is to find where to hardwire it into, and we're going to be using a piggyback fuse to hardwire into the internal fuse box. So on this, which is a right hand drive, in the passenger side, and I had to look this up to find it out, we pull the carpet back, and that's the fuse box there at the bottom with a cover on it. You can see actually there's a large red which looks like it goes forward through the firewall into the front. So I'm going to unclip the carpet at the side and peel it back a bit further. So what I'm going to do is wire up a cigarette lighter socket using piggyback fuses into the fuse that we've identified and feed that into the glove box, where we can also put power for several USB devices and other cigarette sockets. That's where we'll take our feed from for the dash cam that we're going to fit. So the next thing is to attach the piggyback fuse and feed that into the socket in the glove box. What I've done to identify which fuse to use is using a meter, turn the ignition on and off and check for power. This fuse here goes on and off with the ignition, which means we can use that. And if you look on the instructions, we can see what the fuse is used for. So 99 is Reifendruckkontroll. According to Google Translate, it is tyre pressure monitoring, so we're going to use that. Looking at the position inside the glove box, you can see just temporarily placed it, but putting the wire at the back, and then we can wire it in down here, hide this socket up at the back, which should do the job. And you can see this has also got an inline fuse, so there's plenty of fuses for protection. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use that existing ground. Just need to get a socket on it and then we can use that as our ground feed. Let's see. It's a 10mm, so I can get that socket on it. In case you're also doing this on the Mercedes A-class, just out of interest, this isn't loops and a single nut on the end. Actually, the nut is captive onto these, and it ended up taking the entire bunch off so that I could fit the loop over. Now that may cause some devices to lose power in the car, so when we come to power back up I'll let you know whether it's caused any fault lights or anything like that, but it's something to bear in mind. You might be better off just putting the new loop over the top and putting another spare nut that you've got over on top, and that would save you disconnecting this entire bunch, because I'm not sure what electrical system this will all be grounding out. So it's just something to bear in mind if you're doing this, especially if you don't have scan tools or anything like that I have access to reset codes. But we should be okay. I'll let you know later on in the video when we power up and make sure that there's no faults on the car. Before tucking it all away and feeding it up into the void that I'm going to put it up there, let's test it out. You can see it's plugged in. If we turn the ignition on, you can see we're getting a voltage through, which is that the unit is working. And if we turn the ignition off, it goes off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tape this so that it's all fastened in. That makes sure that this plug won't pop out, because we're going to hide it underneath the dash surround. So I'm going to tape that in and then attach it to these other wires here to make sure that it doesn't rattle around inside. And now that's the wires fastened in. See, the fuse is nice and secure. We can close our fuse box. It's just clipped in there. Now we're not going to put this back yet, because we're going to bring the dash cam wiring down and through here, and also we're going to feed the cable that's going to go up and through the dash over to power the phone holder. So the rear camera, trying to find somewhere to fit it. I didn't want to fit it on here because you can see there's no wiring loom to go into. There's only the two central, which would be difficult to tap into, I should imagine. Could pop this off, I suppose, and go in that way. But what I did look at is that there's a plastic cover here which I could attach the cameras to. You can see it's quite stable, and actually the view out of it is quite good. It lets us go in here. I'm using the pry tool that came with the camera to fit behind, and then going along the top of the door, you can see where I'm up to. I'll go further along, just hiding it along here. Kept it along here around the seam of where the airbag is, just by unclipping and pulling this panel towards you like this. You can get in and you can see where the airbag is to make sure that you feed it around the outside of it. And then going down the side, and this panel just pops off as well. You can see it's just on clips, and that allows us to feed down and into the glove box and into the power ports. I'm using some of these rods because they push through and allow me to grab the other side down here, so I know that it's all clear of the pedals, and I can tape the USB wire onto it and push it through, and I know that that's threaded. To go from one side to the other, I've taken this little bit of carpet back, and you can see there's a few gaps, so again I'm I'm going to use the rod to push its way through and use one of these to feed the cable back across, which should get us from the driver's side through to the passenger side. The other thing to bear in mind is, by the looks of it, I think that's the airbag module there. So we want to avoid that. In front of it we've got some foam, but also on the other side of this aircon duct there's a little gap here which should take us straight across to the other side. I think that's probably going to be where I want to go, so I'm going to give that a try and see. There are some cables in here as well, I do notice that, so I'm going to go careful. And I think I'm on the carpet at the far side now, so if I go around, take a look at the carpet, that might just let me sneak through that way. My guess is I'm somewhere around here, so if I can just pull a bit of the carpet back. Feels like it's clipped in some way, but I haven't found any clips, so I'm just going to pull a little bit of the carpet away like this. There we go, and yes, I can see there's my rod there. That's perfect. We can feed the cable round down onto the rod and then pull it back through. Let me do that. Just attaching the wire like that. Just gently pull it through whilst feeding on this side. Quite difficult to do this one-handed, but there we go. So that is how I would go between the different sides of the car. I can now pull this all the way through like this. So I've traced the wire down inside here, across to the centre console, through the centre console and out the other side, where we can then feed it into the dashboard, into the glove box, where we've put the connector where it can take power. And the wire I've used is this reinforced USB cable, so it's quite sturdy. Here's the other side. You can see the wire coming through. We're just going to feed that up and into the glove box and into our ready waiting power supply. Attaching the socket in there, we've got the USB cable that goes across to the phone holder, so that can now all go in the glove box. Glove box can close up. Put the panel back on the side, put the carpet back in place, and then we can cover the fuse box back over, and finally attach the dash cam to the windscreen, and then I'll show you some footage that it records. And there you go, that's how to hardwire in a dash cam, and also to provide extra USB power if you need it for phone holders and things like that. Hardwired in to the fuse box that is down in the bottom in our Mercedes here, and that's all there is to it. It took a couple of hours, it took a while because of all the cable routing and the wiring, but it's not too difficult a job to do. If this video has been useful, please put a like down the bottom and remember to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.